Greeting from Department of Mechanical Engineering, TJS Engineering College. Hope you and your family are staying safe and healthy in this pandemic situation. In this pandemic situation period, don't keep yourself away from learning. Make a smart choice and develop your skill. Being one of the pioneer institution in knowledge sharing, it is our great honor and pleasure to invite you participate in the fifth free national webinar on research is everyone's responsibility, conducted by Department of Mechanical Engineering, TJS Engineering College. So I will start with a short intro about the guest. I want to emphasize that word short because Sir has a lot of contribution towards his career. So due to time consideration, I'm making the intro as in short. So Dr. G. Karupaswamy sir received B Honors and ME and PhD degree in Mechanical Engineering from PSG College of Technology, Coimbatore. Sir has 15 years of industrial experience as a manufacturing engineer and 22 years of academic experience. Sir has published more than 40 publications in reputed national, international, and journals and in conference. At Sri Ishwari College of Engineering, Sir is in many more positions. So he has added as an EDC cell and IED cell, and Sir received 2.4 crores external fund for conducting research, innovative project development activities, and entrepreneurship programs. So at EDC, Sir has received at EDC of Sri Ishwari College of Engineering, Sir has received 3 national awards aggregated by MNRE, NISC, and TED, Tamil Nadu Skill and Trade Association. Thank you, sir. I'm welcoming to this. Thank you for accepting our invitation and being part of this webinar. I request our principal, sir, to welcome the guest.
Thank you, Mr. Vinod. Warm welcome and a warm good morning to one and all present in this webinar. On behalf of TJS Engineering College, management, staff and students, I welcome you all and our honorable speaker today, Dr. G. Karupaswamy, Dean R&D, Sri Ishwar College of Engineering, Coimbatore. This is a wonderful occasion. Even though we are all staying away, we are all connected today on one important topic. Research is everyone's responsibility. A nice topic, nice title selected by the department. I really congratulate the department, head of department and the coordinators and conveners of the program who made all the effort to bring this webinar a successful one. I request all the participants to mute their phone and receive the information given by our speaker, who will go in to share his vast experience in the field of research. Even today, I witnessed from one video that question was placed before Infosys chairman. What is the real thing behind your success? This was the question. Actually, he made a wonderful research on this, and he simply told, you must receive all kind of criticism from every corner. But many people are keeping themselves away from the criticism, so they are unable to grow up. A wonderful research he made. And the second one, what he cited is, you must learn from everyone, though they are your junior. He cited 2 different examples that took place in Infosys, and he said, I myself sat down on the floor and received all the information from the junior people who taught us. So now this is one kind of research, a self-evaluation, how to become a leader. In the same way, in technical field also, we have to make a lot of research, and it is the responsibility of everyone. And being in a teaching profession, the life objective or career objective, one of the career objective is becoming a doctorate degree holder. So I request all the participants to pay a keen attention and interest towards the speaker and try to learn more. Once again, I welcome you all. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Very good morning to all the participants, and I'm extremely thankful to the college, TJS Engineering College, and I'm very thankful to the principal, Dr. Palani sir, the HOD Mechanical, Dr. Kamal Babu, Mr. Prakash, Mr. Vinod, It was a wonderful interaction with this college for the last 3-4 days, and I am extremely happy to be part of this national webinar series organized by the TJS Engineering College. Myself, Dr. J. Karupasamy. Actually, the topic I have chosen is research is everyone's responsibility. Normally, I used to present with a slightly different title: research methodology, research process. Like this, I used to present to the teachers. Last 20 years, I am in senior position, and every time a group of teachers, when they register for PhD, they used to attend a seminar, and in that seminar, I used to talk about research methodology. In other words, how to go about the steps of the research I used to explain. But of late, I feel this word, it should be spread and it should be pronounced everywhere in the college. In my experience, last 20 years, I am seeing this. The word research, the moment we pronounce the word research, it is always considered to be part of senior teachers. To pronounce the word, the teacher should have experienced at least 3-4 years. He should have gone with the registration process at Anna University. He should have started working on PhD. He should have identified his grade. Like this, it goes on. The word research, even to pronounce the word research, probably you have to attain an age of 30. After ME or MTech degree, our assistant professor joins our college. He is around 25. He works for another 3-4 years, let's say around 29, 30 type of thing. Only in that age, they say, sir, I want to do research. I am really surprised why it should be so late. Why the word research is only for teachers? Is it so complicated? Can this go only with teachers? Why not with all the members in the college? For example, students. Yes, student. This is the concept on which I have prepared this presentation. In fact, this presentation, I want this presentation to reach the students also. It's true, many teachers are online, they are watching my presentation. I'm extremely happy. Being a senior person, I can share whatever I have with me regarding research with the teachers. And obviously, it can go with the students also. And let's say, normally, the research, the term I said, it's associated with senior people and only professors and only grades. I want this to go with the students also. After all, what is the meaning of research? It's a French word. You can split it into two syllables, re and search. Re means once again. It's something like a traveling. Somebody has traveled already few kilometers. Can you travel a little bit extra? Find out something new for the world. This is the simplest definition for the research. It doesn't say it's only PhD. The word research doesn't imply that it is only for PhD degree holders. It doesn't imply that only for candidates who are doing PhD. It can be forever. It can be for all in the college. For example, a student can say, instead of saying I am doing a project, he can as well say I am doing a research project. Nothing wrong in it. That is my opinion. Probably you will listen to my presentation, then you come with questions, because I want to put this entire topic in a different perspective. So many teachers are there, just listen to me, and towards the end of the program we can have a discussion. This is what we are propagating in our college. These are all the contents I have. Importance of research, definition of research terms, process, proposal, agencies, patents. Obviously, you can see all these topics is purely related to research. Okay. I always start with the sayings of Guru of all the teachers, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. He said, once a teacher, always a student. It's true, we are all teachers, experienced teachers. When we go inside the class, we are teachers. You teach for 1 hour, you are a teacher. When you come out of the class, when you are in your cabin, when you are somewhere away from the classroom, probably the second syllabus, you are a student. That means a teacher is expected to learn continuously. It's a never-ending process. You are supposed to learn continuously. That is what is implied in this. And again, coming back to the topic, just have a look on this. Research is everyone's responsibility. I want to put it in a slightly different perspective. What is really happening with respect to research in academic field? What is really happening? Teacher goes there, he registers for PhD, he does 4 years to 6 years, and sometimes even it goes beyond 6 years also. He does a PhD work, and ultimately what the university wants is, let's say 1 or 2 publications in the annexure 1 of Anna University, whatever the list they have given, the list of journals they have given, you are supposed to publish at least 2 paper, 3 paper, and today the conditions of AICT is different. To become an associate professor, you require 6 paper. Like this, it goes on. The entire research work, 4 years of work of the teacher, finally, the final outcome, it is only papers. It is there with the journals. Let us say Scopus journals, Web of Science journals, or maybe SCI journals, highly reputed journals, doesn't matter. Your 4 years of work remains in the journals. Let's say Anna University produces 1,000 PhDs per year. Last 20 years, 25 years, maybe they have produced maybe around 10,000 PhDs. My question is, being an industrial person, I came from industry. Have we produced any product? Have we come out with any invention? Is there any useful contribution to the society because of our PhD? It's true, we have done a PhD. Maybe we have done it in optimization. We have done it in very high-end areas. Doesn't matter. You have done a fantastic PhD. You have 7 papers, 6 papers. It goes on. Ultimately, what is the benefit to the society? Have you done something good to the society? Have you contributed as a product to the society? Is there any invention behind this? If there is no invention, it's true we have a PhD, we are called professor, and it's true our status is higher, etc., etc. My question is, look at the life we are living now. It's true now we are under COVID-19 problem. We are disturbed. Our normal life is disturbed, and last 3 months there is a disturbance. Before 3 months, definitely we were living one of the best possible life in the world. Best possible. We have so much comfort. Beautiful automobiles, beautiful electronic products, beautiful house. It goes like this. Fantastic life we were living. How this happened? It happened because of so many inventions. Last 350 years, inventions. I just want to quickly take you through the inventions so that you will get an idea. Look at this. James Watt invented the first steam engine in 1776. This is the starting of the manufactured world. In other words, starting of the industrialization. The first industrialization started in 1776. Total number of years passed, probably around 340 years now. 340 years since the first invention. Next invention came as an electrical bulb in 1879 by Thomas Alva Edison. Third invention. I have not listed all the scientists. Einstein's contribution. And when you look at very quickly, when you look at the other inventions like radio, television, computer, internet, aeroplane, and the penicillin, 1920, Fleming, he discovered this penicillin, and like this, thousands of inventions we are enjoying today. Thousands of inventions we are enjoying today. I strongly believe a PhD degree holder, probably apart from the research papers, if he can contribute something towards this invention, a new product, an innovative product, let's say he takes the students also with him. Obviously, you are all taking your students with you when they do some project. Maybe we can contribute much bigger than what we are doing now. In fact, Government of India, very recently they said, India should become self-reliant India. We should do everything within our country. I'm sure all of you are seeing the messages now. In case we stop importing from China, in fact, China is the country which is exporting, or in other words, we are importing so much from China, around $60 billion worth of product from them. All electronic things are coming from them only. We are not doing it here. So what will happen to our country? So probably the research angle, it should not be confined only to the senior people. It should not be confined only to the PhD degree holders, and it should be spread everywhere. In fact, government is also coming on this same philosophy. Let me go with this. I'm very quickly, I will take you through 3 or 4 definitions of research. In every definition, they don't say research is only for PhD. It can be for anybody. It can be for anybody. Simple definition, re means once more, afresh, anew, that's all. Search means, it's a search. Keep searching for a new knowledge. Keep searching for an original knowledge. That is research. It is an organized and systemic way of finding answers to questions. It is an organized and systemic way of finding answers to questions is research. And we always respect the American University, MIT, #1 university in every ranking, whether it is in research, whether it is the best university, in any kind of ranking, they are always #1 in research. See their definition. Learning by doing, that's all. Learning by doing. Very, very simple definition they have given. And addition of new knowledge. When we say new knowledge, it should be original knowledge to the existing domain. It's called the research. It's a new experience for every one of us, those who are involved in research. It's a new experience because sometimes you feel like Columbus. You are trying to find something new. You are discovering something new in your field. It's a unique and an original contribution to your field of expertise. And when a teacher is involved in research continuously, normally what happens is when they register for PhD, they work for 4 years, 5 years. Once PhD is obtained, they just leave it. You should not do that. It should be a continuous process. As part of research, so much development will take around you. You will learn work, you will learn time management, problem solving, analytical reasoning, and moral, ethical awareness. You will get critical, reflective thinking, social intelligence, emotional intelligence, communication and presentation skills will improve. Those who are involved in this research activity, this will be part of your career and part of your personality. And those who are involved in research are identified separately and respected. The simplest respect you get on the internet forum is that, let's say, a Google scholar. Let us say I am talking on research. Somebody who is listening to this program, if they want to know what I have done in research, I have a separate identity. It's like a profile, like LinkedIn profile, Facebook profile, or Twitter profile. You have a separate profile for research, like a Google scholar. You can put all your papers there and all your citations there, all your H index, I-10 index, all will come automatically. You can create an identity in the virtual world, in the web. That is an advantage. And let's say coming back, this is the introduction part. Introduction part, I just want to stress that everyone in the college should be involved in research. Even a first year BA student, he can pronounce the word research, nothing wrong in it. The definition of research, it only says research, that's all. He can say, instead of saying I am doing a project, he can as well say I am doing a research project, nothing wrong. We don't know. Maybe after completing his BE, he will go to MTech or MS in USA. He may do his PhD. So we can groom him as soon as he joins in first year. So yesterday I was browsing through MIT. What kind of research is happening around the world now? Obviously, all the program it corners on COVID-19. You can look at the screen now. Machine learning, deep learning, artificial intelligence, IoT, all topics, it revolves around COVID-19 now. Almost all the research, they have changed to, for even energy program, whatever energy they are doing, that is also goes with COVID-19. So you should look for the current problems in the world. What is the problem in our country? What is the problem in the world? Immediately you should capture and put it in your PhD. Those who are, let's say, those who are doing PhD now in this group, you can take this idea. You, whatever PhD, whatever title you have, doesn't matter. Is there any possibility of bringing COVID-19 problem into your research area? It will be highly respected. In fact, Government of India has announced so much of fund for COVID-19 related research. You can go with the DST website, search and find out. They are offering research oriented towards COVID-19 funds for research. They are offering. So this is the current trend in the world. Is it a very complicated process? Number one is you identify a problem. Number two is solve the problem, and that's all is the research. Is it a complicated process? Can our undergraduate student understand this process? Definitely yes. The steps involved in research, it is a very, very simple chronological order steps. Anybody can understand. And it's only up to him to work on it. Select the criteria, work on the process, complete the process. Very simple 3 steps. Little elaborate steps if you want to go, probably you should think about the types of research. The types of research, we can say it's a basic research or applied research. I am sure 99% or 100% of the researchers are working on applied research. We don't go with fundamental research or basic research because investment required is so high. You want, let's say you want to go with the basic, let's say you want to find out a vaccine, medicine for COVID-19, you require a big laboratory. So what we are trying to do is applied research. Under this applied research, let's say you have selected your area. Area of interest is very, very important. Obviously, it goes with your PG program. PG in mechanical, PG in ECE, PG in EEE, it can be any branch. It always goes with your PG branch. Let's say you have done machine design in mechanical engineering or VLSI in ECE or let's say computer science, ME also called computer science only. So whatever is your specialization in ME, you should choose your area of interest related to your specialization. And even in your specialization, hundreds of areas are there. In fact, look at the IIT Bombay now. They are also with same like MIT. They are also trying to do COVID-19 related research. And if you want to know how to find out the areas, sir, finding a problem itself is a problem for me. I don't know how to find a problem. I don't know how to find the areas of interest. So what happens is there is nothing wrong in finding the best university websites. What you can do is QS ranking, Times ranking is there. The best 200 universities in the world, it is readily available anywhere. Even all our IITs. I had visited almost all IITs. And Madras IIT is always ranked as #1 in India when it comes to research. They got 600 crores worth of research fund last year. They have so much of requirement when it comes to research. And definitely those who have not gone there, if you go there, you will be stunned. Such a huge amount of research work is going on in Madras IIT. And very recently we had been to Delhi IIT and other IITs also. And there is no doubt all our IITs are something like international level. and today they welcome you. In other words, you can, from your college, you can write a letter to them. Now it is under lockdown, you cannot go there. When things become normal, you can always write a letter, you can request them, they will permit you. Officially, you can go and see all the research projects. You can select one department or two departments. You can go and see. For example, last time I took a team of 20 teachers from our college, 4 teachers in every department. So 4 teachers in CSE, 4 in mechanical, 4 in ECE, like this. And we went there, we spent 2 days. And each and every laboratory they have, it is filled with research experiments. For example, automobile lab, I have seen, I was stunned. One side they were testing Mahindra engine, other side they were testing the Tata, the other side it's in another company. So much of research work is going on around us. And let's say a young teacher who wants to go get into the research, there is a big opportunity for you. For example, I have done my PhD in 2005, 15 years before. Even to get a journal paper, it was not available online at that time. Not all the journals were online at that time, but today everything is online. Sitting at your home, you can collect so much information. It is definitely a big advantage for all the youngsters because completely it is online now. Look at the areas listed by DST. Department of Science and Technology, Government of India, the number one funding agency for research in India is DST. Artificial intelligence and IoT for societal application, agriculture, rural development, disaster management, health. Now they are asking artificial intelligence and IoT research projects related to rural. And when it comes to solar, energy sector, hybrid solar PV technologies, then robotics for social application. So any field, you can be in any branch. You can be in ECE, CSE, mechanical, or even arts and science. Any branch, there is definitely an area where current focus is there. You should find out that because government gives fund only for that particular research projects. So if you do a broad-based research, it may be difficult to get a fund. And look at the second slide on the areas of interest. It can be health sciences, cost-effective health and hygiene aids, effective indigenous methods of disease identification, natural resource-based livelihood systems. Like this, it goes on. You can in any branch of engineering or science and technology or arts, or you can be in any field. But worldwide, some research is going on, current research is going on, and you can always find out and you can go with it. So, trying to consolidate the steps, identify the broad area, identify the narrow topic, and once you identify the narrow topic, you should become an expert in the topic. The college gives a facility for you. For example, let's say a teacher joined ECE department. I am in mechanical. Let's say ECE department. He has done VLSI and in ME, and he wants to go with the research in VLSI. So let's say 3-4 years, he should choose courses, subjects for teaching related to that particular field. Now, you should not take a very simple subject because let's say you have a lot of theory subjects and analytical subjects. You should take subjects or courses related to your area of interest, and you should develop a good knowledge. You should be an expert in that field. Then after, let's say 2-3 years, you understood what is VLSI, you have learned everything VLSI, then simultaneously you can go with the review literature. Review literature, it's a big process. Sometimes it goes for years together, sometimes it ends within 3 months. It's all based on your topic. You have chosen a completely new topic, you may not find much literature. Some existing topic, you will get hundreds of paper. And let's say when you read the literature, you can come back to the basic definition of research. Let's say you have explored all the developments that has happened in your area. You can always find out a gap in the research, an area where people have not yet come. So that area, is the problematic area for you, and you have to identify a problem in that area and keep working on that area. For example, in mechanical, I have seen a PhD, wonderful PhD. Actually, the candidate was working in Dubai, and he was there for 10 years. He had ME degree. He came to our university before this in a university, and he said, "Sir, I want to do a PhD." I asked him, "Where are you?" He said, "I am in industry." "Okay, what work you are doing there?" I asked him. He said, "Sir, I am working on water jet cutting machines." Fantastic. I have quickly gone with the review of literature. I could not find many papers on water jet machining. In mechanical, water jet machining, very rarely it is there. So it became a fantastic area for him. He is already working on the machines, and related to that particular machine, we could not find much literature. In fact, when you take a lathe, when you take a machine, CNC, lot of machining process, you have so much PhDs. So he took papers related to other machines, try to do the same kind of study, machining using water jet machining, that's all. And 10 papers, within 2 years, he was able to publish 10 papers in Scopus Index, Annexure 1, you name any journal. Because every journal was looking for a paper in that area. It was not available. So that was a big advantage for him. And within 3 years, he got his PhD, sitting in Dubai. So this is the one. You should be smart. You should be intelligent. Trying to find a gap where people have not come. And another idea will be, let's say those who are trying to do PhD, and another idea will be, let's say you have become comfortable in one particular area, and people say, Google, today you Google, you find out everything. It's fine. You go with a Google search, type whatever you want, and you get it. If you can come with a topic that is not there in Google, that means you are through. In other words, what is available, existing literature in Google, is the standard literature. Can you go beyond Google? In fact, when I framed this topic, immediately I went to the Google. I just wanted to know whether anybody has talked on the same topic. Research is everyone's responsibility. You will find research is everyone's business. Research is like this, it goes on. But I could not find this title. Research is everyone's responsibility. You can try this after the program is over. Maybe you will find it. But it is very rare. So this is one idea. What Google has got is existing. Do not take it. If you can go beyond Google is not a big thing. Just now I explained to you water jet machining. It's always possible. If you can do that, your PhD is 50% over. Identifying an area, identifying a problem, 50% PhD. And the balance 50% is automatic, provided your problem is a correct one, an original problem. It is not taken from anywhere. Today, almost all the literature is available online. Even PhD thesis is also available online. And you have biggest advantage with Google as well as disadvantage with Google also. Because you take something existing, you will be caught in no time. And in fact, when it comes to little elaborate steps, you can go this way. Turn your ideas into research question. Your mind should be all the time revolving around this question, 24 hours. Have a question, review the literature, design the study and develop your methods. Then you can come with proposal. And any PhD today should have experiments. You should conduct experiments. Data should be there, analysis should be there. Gone are the days where only theory PhDs were conducted. Now nobody will accept theory PhD. You should conduct experiments, collect data, analyze data, and come with some new conclusions, and verification of your results and validation of your results. And finally, you can go with the thesis writing. And actually, full-time PhD is somewhere between 2 to 3 years only, full-time PhD. And part-time PhD is, let's say, 3-4 years, they allow up to 6 years. If you are able to find out the problem, the area within first year, definitely you can complete your PhD within this period. Okay, so these are all the, when you look at the steps, there is no complication at all. What I'm trying to say is why this is only for PhD degree holders. Why not we propagate the same one for our students also? He is not pronouncing the word research. He doesn't say research project. He only says projects. But the word research will come only when it is original. If his project is original, probably you can allow him to use the word research. Maybe, in my opinion, today 10% of our students, 10% of our students are ready to go with research. So you can identify them at as early as first year. When he joins first year BE BTech, maybe he has an ambition to go abroad to do MS, maybe go to IIT to do MTech. Like this, it is there. So you can pick up those students, the 10% of the students, put him into, let's say, a mini project, an innovative project, probably onto your research project. Groom him into research mode. He can also come with a lot of ideas. In fact, see the advertisement and the last few direct PhD. And I'm sure all of you would have seen this, direct PhD from IIT for final year BE BTech students. Let us say if there are some students who are listening to this program, and you can always go IIT and join PhD directly after your BE degree. And previously they were saying your BE and BTech should be only government aided, government colleges. Now they relaxed. Your BE and BTech can be from any college. Only thing is you should have a good GATE score. This is the condition, direct PhD. And they give up to 60,000 rupees stipend for PhD. It is a big amount of money. Let's say some students who are not interested to go to software, they feel they want to go with only PhD. You can take the guidance of your teachers. You can go with IIT directly. You can join PhD directly. Look at the brochure of the IIT. This is for students of non-centrally funded technical institution. That is the expansion for CFTI. Non-CFTI. That means any self-financing college also can join. Research area will be same as your regular PhD program. Final year BE BTech can apply. GATE score is a must. CGPA 8 and above. 8 and above CGPA. That's all is the condition. Let's say students who are worried about coronavirus, getting a job, etc. You can go join, let's say Madras IIT and all. If you go, you will definitely enjoy as a researcher. I just now said they have 600 crores worth of research projects. And Government of India, scheme for young scientists and technologists. Less than 35 years, you want to get into research, you want to take a project, they say take money. Those who are less than 35 and they have a PhD, this young scientist proposal, it gets accepted, and definitely you can get into research. The Government of India is encouraging. So much advantage is there. I talked for the last half an hour only to impress my teachers and students. Please pronounce the word research. There is a big opportunity for all of you. And don't have to be worried about the complication, about the other portion, because it will always be smooth provided you have a good area. And these definitions, some of the terms we use regularly. Multidisciplinary. This is my suggestion to all core engineering branches like mechanical and civil. It cannot be a core, simply a core research anymore. Please note this. It should be multidisciplinary. When we went into the civil lab of engineering lab of IIT, I could see only laptops and computers and softwares and programs attached to every machine. In other words, they are doing 2-3 departments are joining and they are doing research. And in fact, in every department you can see another department person. It is multidisciplinary. In fact, there are 3 terms: cross-disciplinary, interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary. Multidisciplinary is simply a team. You can join together and work. And cross-disciplinary, what happens if 2 branches work together? For example, biology and technology. They work for a long time together, and now you have a single branch called biotech. And like this, a mechatronics branch. A interdisciplinary branch is also now available. So in other words, all your projects should be minimum interdisciplinary. I mean, minimum multidisciplinary. Then only the value will be there. This is the graphical representation. Multidisciplinary, you can see here, it's a problem. 2 different experts, they work. That's all. They work and solve the problem. Whereas in interdisciplinary, the product becomes a single. For example, you develop a microprocessor exclusively for biotechnology, and that is called interdisciplinary. So in other words, you will have a product, single product, but worked by many experts, different disciplines. It's called interdisciplinary. So those who are working on research, definitely you should have the multidisciplinary approach to this. When it comes to funding agencies in India, we get funds from, we get EDC funds, research funds, skill training program funds, at least from 6 departments. And today, MSME also is coming out. They are also trying to support students' project. And they give up to 15 lakhs for a student project. What else you want? If you get 15 lakhs, can you not do a PhD program with that? Can you not do a research program using that money? Definitely it is possible. For that, the college should enroll. And I think this January they called, and I think your college also was there, TJS Engineering College, Mr. Prakash also was there. And we met, in fact, we met in Ambedkar Stadium in Delhi. And I was so impressed. Prakash is definitely taking the college forward. He is working so much. And I met him in Madras IIT and in another program also. So appreciable. TJS college is appreciable. You are trying to go into all the government departments, trying to get something for your programs. It's always possible. See, obviously money is required. No money, no research. How can we do research without money? And at the same time, we cannot ask for crores. But lakhs is possible. Lakhs is possible. Crores will come only for established big colleges, big institutions, big universities. They will get. And for upcoming colleges, few lakhs is always possible. It's only up to your imagination. So DST is the #1 authority, and you can see the big list here. Everybody is giving money. Even Tamil Nadu government, Tamil Nadu Science and Technology, Tamil Nadu State Science and Technology Council also is giving some fund, up to 5 lakhs they are giving. For example, COVID-19, they have released a proposal. They wanted proposal related to COVID-19. They give up to 5 lakhs. Okay, Tamil Nadu State Council for Science and Technology, TNSEST, the last one. They are also giving. So you can try, and your proposal is good, something unique, something new. There is a big possibility you can get your money. And let's say a PhD program, the outcome of PhD is only journals. Today, this journal paper publication, we all know it has gone in all dimensions, sometimes in wrong dimensions. Please do not venture into that. Don't go with online journal, offline journal. If you put paper today, tomorrow it gets published. It is all not worth at all. Don't do that. Pay 1,000 rupees, 500 rupees, your paper is published. Don't go with that. Go with the best possible journals. At least 40,000 journals are published all over the world every year. 40,000 journals. Out of 40,000 journals, how to identify the best journal for your area? how to identify the best journal for your area. Scopus is there, Web of Science is there, and SCI is there, Science Citation Index is there. So like this, there are some private agencies, they have done some accreditation on journals. They have identified the good journals and they have put it under their brand name. For example, Scopus, Elsevier, it's a group of Elsevier group of publications. They have listed up to 10,000 journals under Scopus. And obviously, Anna University has got a list, Annexure 1 only now. Previously, it was Annexure 1 and 2, now it's only 1. And they have much more difficult ones under their category comparing with the Scopus. So when you start your research project very sincerely, you should go with good journals only. How to identify the good journals? You can go with some of these indexes like Scopus, SCI, Web of Science. Well, the reason is your college, very often the committees will come. Anna University committee will come, NAC committee will come, NBA committee will come. When it is research, they ask only 2 questions. How many research papers you have from your college? Question number 1. Question number 2, how much fund you got it? That's all. And some more questions like you have patents, you have research centers, you have how many PhD degree holders, how many are doing PhD. This kind of question will come a little later. First question is how many paper. Supposing you say I have 500 paper. Next question is how many in Scopus. Take only Scopus. If you have the login ID password for Scopus, within 1 minute I can take the number of paper published by your college in Scopus. Straight away I can take a print. In fact, when the committee comes, they will take a print in your college name and they will come. They know how many paper you have in Scopus from your college. So you cannot give a wrong number. In other words, all other papers are invalid. It is not really worth it. It is waste of money. Please don't do that. You go only with Scopus and higher quality journals. Okay, how to identify? And another parameter for journal is impact factor. In very simple terms, how to understand impact factor, I will explain a little later. So, just for your information, out of 40,000 journals, which is the #1 journal, the best journal, which is rated as #1, it is a Nature. You are seeing on the screen, this journal is rated as #1. Its impact factor somewhere around 30-35. And in fact, now the definition is H5 index. H5 index, it runs into hundreds. You can see the first year of publication of this journal, 1869. Maybe last 150 years, this is in printing. You can see how much amount of reputation this journal has got. For example, if somebody comes with a vaccine for COVID-19, that research will be published in this journal only first. Then it will go with other journals. It cannot go with other journals unless there is something different. Okay, Nature. And obviously, this is a different category, journal. Can we educate our own students also on journal? Why not? Why not? Definitely, students are also capable, and every college, I think they are all doing an education with respect to journals. Journals is a source of knowledge. It is the current knowledge. It is the more accurate knowledge. Let us say we have textbooks with us. Then we have magazines in our library. Then we have journals. Textbooks, obviously, it's at least 5-year-old, 10-year-old material. Textbooks. Magazines, it is not for research purpose. Magazines, keep reading magazines. That is also a source of knowledge, but that is not authentic knowledge. That is not proven knowledge. So journal is the best source for you to take research data as well as to publish your data. Okay, when we come to journal, what are the terminology, the basic things for the students? I'm sure today some journals are available free. Some journals are, you can only see abstract. It's always a good idea. Every teacher, let us say 1 hour or 2 hours, he teaches the students. He conducts a seminar on journal. A mechanical teacher, ECE teacher, they can pick up 10 journals, the best journals. They can go to the classroom, conduct 1 hour seminar. What is a journal? How the journal will look like? You can take hard copy of 1 or 2 journals from your library, go and show it to your students. Students also will be seeing when they go to library. So, what is new when compared to textbooks? It has got an abstract, and all of you know abstract is free. Any journal gives the abstract. They don't give the detailed research paper. It is all paid, subscribed, but abstract portion is always free. So you can educate them as early as first year, nothing wrong. There are some students who are so good. You can educate them on journals in the first year itself. And let's say you want to see how a journal looks like, you can show it to the students. That's what I'm saying. And one thing that you should know about journals is impact factor. Very briefly, I will tell you what is impact factor, why this is important. Let us say I publish my paper in a journal, XYZ journal, and its impact factor is 0. It doesn't have any impact factor, or it is 0.1, 0.5, 0.2, like this it is there. What is the meaning? The meaning is this particular journal, let us say now we are in 2020, 2019, January to December, 2019, January to December, this XYZ journal, let's say they came out with 4 issues, 4 volumes, let's say 4 volumes. All together they had 4 into 10 paper, 40 paper. That XYZ journal, last year it was published, and in that particular volume, 4 issues are there, 40 papers are there, and if the impact factor is 0, it means nobody had seen that journal. Nobody has given a reference of the particular paper published in that journal. I get a respect only when my paper is cited. It is given as a reference in another paper. I get a respect. If it is not referred at all, if it is not given as a reference, obviously my paper is invalid. It is not really worth. So 2019 volume, let's say the journal 19 volume, 4 issues, 40 paper, nobody has given reference, impact factor is 0. Let us say, I will show you the simple mathematics also. 2019, how do they calculate? Actually, to come out with impact factor itself, it takes 3 years. A new journal which is published this year, 2020, its impact factor will be seen only in 2022. Until that time, you cannot find out the impact factor. The reason is 2020, let us say there are 4 issues, all 4 issues are published by the journal, no impact factor, and next year, 2021, people will refer to the journal, they will give reference of the particular paper in their paper, automatically it will be counted by the software, the Google, and you will let's say my paper is referred and given as a reference by 4 people, and like this all 40 paper together, 40 references, full year, 40 paper, 40 members have given reference. That means 40 divided by 40 is 1. Very simple. 40 papers, 40 references, impact factor is 1. Supposing impact factor is 0.1, then what is the meaning? Out of 40 paper, only 1 paper somebody has given a reference. Otherwise, that journal is simply lying online. Nobody cares about the journal. Supposing if it is 0, then the meaning is nobody has given reference. So there are 2 parameters when you look at the journal. Number 1, is it indexed? Is it Scopus indexed? Anna University Annexer 1 indexed? Or SCI indexed? Or Web of Science indexed? Or at least it has got an impact factor. Let us say at least 2 to 3, impact factor 2 to 3. that kind of thing. You will find very few journal with impact factor 2 and 3. So this is how it is calculated. And so people will normally will be worried, impact, what is impact factor, what is, it's very simple. Impact factor is very simple. The next term you should remember is plagiarism. Plagiarism. What is this plagiarism? Simply taking somebody's material and publishing in our name. And it's normally, I was in foreign for a long time. We Indians, we do not mind. For example, even a student, I used to say this very often in my classes. Only one student writes assignment, the balance 59 students copies that. Okay, maximum 2 students or 3 students, that's all. The other students, they simply copy that. And you should not do this in a research. You are free to see even the latest invention. You can see even the latest invention. Complete technical detail is available when you go to the patent office. Nobody is hiding. They don't keep it secret. For example, if somebody comes with a medicine for COVID-19, immediately you will know composition. Only thing is, it will be patented. It will go with all kind of regulations. You cannot copy it. It is available. So you can see what is happening, and only thing is you should be careful. You should use your own brain, your own intelligence. Okay, that person has already came up to this level. Can I go a little beyond? Can I go left side, right side, forward, backward? You should think it this way and come with the new ideas. And these are all the details about the journals. And today, I think most of you are familiar with this. Go with indexed journal, especially Scopus. Especially Scopus. Don't worry, Scopus has got even the latest Scopus index. If you take, at least 10,000 journals are there. Don't be worried. Enough journals are there in Scopus. So when you publish a paper, at least it should be in Scopus. Nothing less than Scopus. And this is the information I want to give it to all the researchers as well as to my students. And another most important thing is, as part of your PhD, can you develop a product, an innovative product? Let us say a new design, a new process. And can you go with a patent? Your PhD can become very strong if you have funds received from central government, if you have a patent, if you have a product. Your viva will be just like that, it will happen. A patent is obviously a new product, invention of a new product. At the starting of this presentation, I have shown you all the inventions that has taken place, the major ones in this world. And today, Government of India has built 5-star hotel-like patent offices. We are all fortunate. Madras Patent Office is there in Guindy. At least I had been there 4 or 5 times. I wish all the teachers visit there. You conduct program on intellectual property rights, IPR. IPR, you conduct programs on IPR, create an awareness students, take them to the patent office, go with at least 2-3 patents of your own. In our college, we have 53 patent applications. We have filed 53 patent applications. Definitely students are capable. So we have to believe that. And best for us is Madras, and especially the TJS college. You are already in Madras and it is a cakewalk for you. So also another suggestion is take students with you in research. To do that, you require, already I think Mr. Prakash is running EDC in TJS college. You can have one Innovation and Entrepreneurship Development Center. And we have beautifully built, in fact, I did not show the photographs. You can visit our college website, Sri Ishwar College of Engineering, and you can see Sri Ishwar Incubation Center, Ignite Incubation Center. You can see the facility we have. Yeah, it's around 4,000 square feet built up space, especially for students. They can build their products. Other learning resources, your library, you should go with online subscription. And when we went to Madras IIT, we were stunned. The subscription for online journal budget is 25 crores. So that is the amount of money they spend on journal. and colleges like ours we cannot do. So you can go with the Delnet and other kind of facilities. And searching journal today, I think any one of you can do it. So one suggestion is you can go with don't go with Google, go with scholar.google. Scholar.google, it is specially for us, it is specially for searching in journals, and it is for researchers. If instead of going with simple Google, go with scholar.google, then your services like Science Direct, EBSCO, ProQuest, Elsevier, like this it goes on, and you can browse. As I said before, identify the journal related to your area and then keep browsing. You will not be able to take the complete paper, but there are some techniques available to take the complete paper. And take the complete paper, read it, become a master and expert. Then only you can do your research. And Anna University also has a list in their research menu. Go with I'm sure all the PhD degree holders would have visited this. If you click this, you will get the list of journals, Annexed 1 journals of Anna University. And final, I'll just take a minute or two only. Let us say a college, an upcoming college, how they can report the research. Actually, this is how we do it. I'm sharing with you so that you can. A person, a HOD or the principal is responsible for reporting research activities. This is how we do. Don't be worried if you don't have a fund. You can always try for the fund. Number of PhD degree holders in the college, faculty doing PhD, number of patents, paper publication, conference you conduct, number of research centers you have. Do you have a presentation arrangement for your scholars? How much fund your management has given or you are taken from other side? Innovation Entrepreneurship Development Center, it can be integrated with research. And motivate best researchers. Every year you can give a research award. And some sensitization program. Bring some experts on the research, ask them to give a lecture. And identify separate equipment for the research purpose. And this is how we go. It is not a one-day job. It is a year, 2-year, 3-year job. This is how we go when it comes to product development. And another website where you can concentrate is TRIS, very famous. Lot of research information is there in TRIS. So with this, I come to the conclusion of my presentation.
Hello.
I'm stopped.
Thank you, sir.
Sharing and completed my presentation. Thank you very much for the patient listening. My experience, I will share it with you. So now I can go with the questions from the participants. Mr. Vinod.
Yes, sir. Thanks, sir. Thanks for your wonderful session. This session will surely enlighten the young minds towards the research. So I found some of the questions on chat box, sir. I will read it to you. Hello, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. First question from Hananga Nair. Sir, did you think that the ethical concern or regulation is a limitation for research that is financially financial for this society?
Okay, I got your point. Ethical concern.
Yes, sir.
Actually,
mentioned one instance, sir. CRS-PR technology that has developed wide range of application, still not properly applied due to ethical issues. He cited one example, sir.
Okay, actually, the complete industrial world, because I was in industry for about 15 years, and the entire industrial world, it is working only on inventions and patents. And in fact, WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization, the government of India signed WIPO somewhere in 1991. Until that period, the ethical issue was not there. You can, for example, if you read the recent articles, how India is one of the best when it comes to pharmaceutical industry. In fact, we are exporting to so many countries. Even during COVID-19, we exported so many medicines to other countries. How we developed so many medicines in our country. That was before 91. After 91, when we signed WIPO, World Intellectual Property Organization, you should follow all ethical rules, because all multinationals or foreign companies are here, and they are so sensitive, so serious on this particular aspect. So my suggestion is, for example, we have watched a lot of patent wars multinational between Samsung and Apple. Apple has got 1,000 patents on mobile, and Samsung has got equal number of patents. Even if there is a slight overlap, immediately they come into picture. And in fact, in industry side also in India, competition has become so severe, and people will take you to the court, and in no time you are out. So ethical has to be followed systematically. We have to follow no other way. We legally we have to follow. Next question, Vinod.
Yes, sir. Another question is Muhammad Mujibah Ahmad. So, sir, I completed my MTech with CAD/CAM. Now I am interested in do PhD in the field of nuclear physics power plant. It is possible or not?
Okay, actually, if you go with the if you download 2020 PhD regulations of your university, I don't know you are in which university. It is from which place, which state?
Actually, it doesn't mention it, sir. It just posted the question.
He should go and download the regulations, PhD regulations of his university, and go through that literature. They have conditions. Your PhD should be within the domain of your ME MTech. For example, industry can be different. He can go with nuclear, nothing wrong. But his work should be related to CAD/CAM only. He cannot do on physics. You got my point? He cannot do PhD in physics. He should do only in mechanical engineering related to his ME MTech. This is a regulation of any university. He can read the regulation, and maybe if he is so much interested, he wants to go away from mechanical, then he should explore universities in foreign or maybe some deemed universities in India. Then he should go with it. Thank you. Next question.
Sure, sir. You will get an idea about it. So another question is from Aroka Dhananraj. So minimum, he asked that kindly send minimum requirement for Scopus and Web of Science journals to get degree, sir. At Annex, as per 2012 regulation. I will repeat the question again, sir. The minimum requirement of Scopus and Web of Science journal to get a degree for 2012 regulation, sir.
Okay, my suggestion to any PhD degree holder is you should go beyond minimum. For example, if you go and join PhD in IIT, I have my students there. They don't have any minimum, but when I ask how many papers they have, they say 10 papers. They go far beyond. Coming back to her question, minimum requirement. Actually, Anna University kept on revising the regulations. So whichever year she registered, let us say 2012, if I am correct from this question, she should take the regulation of 2012, read it carefully, sit with her guide, and then understand. And do not stop with minimum. Do not stop with minimum. At least 1 or 2 extra should be there. So when you go to Viva, today, any Viva, directly they go to the last page. and see your publications. Let us say you have written a thesis 400 pages. I don't have time to read all 400 pages. I look at your publications. I look at your journals, because that itself is a proof for me. Let us say you have 6 papers and each one is from a very good journal. Impact factor 3, 4, Scopus, Dynasty, Annexure 1 and all, PhD is automatic. Maybe I think 2012 she registered, 8 years already passed. Maximum period is 6 years. She is on extension, in my opinion. So maybe worried about the numbers. This thing, you can always see the regulation, go with the gate and go with the numbers.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
Another question from Sajjad Alam. Sir, can BTech student do research on some issues based of this project?
Definitely possible, not with our universities. It is called direct PhD. IITs, they admit. I have already shown the slide. You can browse with IIT. A BTech, a student with a good CGPA of 8 and above, a GATE score, he can apply for IIT and he can go with PhD directly in IIT, but not in regular universities. For example, our university means they will always ask ME, MTech. You don't have MTech, you don't have ME, you cannot go with PhD. And possible with IIT. It's called direct PhD.
Next question from Prakash here. I think our Prakash sir. What would be the minimum time required for researcher became an entrepreneur?
Actually, I was an entrepreneur. To become an entrepreneur, it doesn't take more than 6 months. But if you want to become an innovative, product-oriented entrepreneur, you need to develop an entrepreneur. So, let's say a research-based entrepreneur. Normally, when we say research, it goes to years, 3 years, 4 years. But during this period, can you develop some new product? And if you can develop the product, then you can become an entrepreneur. Without a product, you cannot become an entrepreneur. My suggestion to Prakash is come with something new. Do not go with existing product. I came with a new product and that was a good experience. And you should come with innovative product. Innovative means not available anywhere, including Amazon. You browse Amazon, they said 2 crore products are available. 2 crore products. So Prakash should come with a product which is not available in Amazon.
Okay, sir. Another question is, can I publish free papers can I publish free papers in free journal respect of its index? And how to verify genuine online journals with impact factors?
Okay, I already explained in length. Actually, indexing. So straight away go with the Google. You get the list of Scopus indexed journals. 2019, 2020 also may be available. Get the list. The minimum respect for a journal is Scopus. Minimum respect. No Scopus. I already said more than 10,000 journals are there in Scopus. So maybe you have so many journals related to your area already in Scopus. Download the Scopus. Find out whether your journal is there. Obviously, today a lot of paid journal also is there in Scopus. People are taking money, but their journal quality is good, so they are accredited. They are there in Scopus, so no problem, no problem. But what happens is sometimes it is there in Scopus, and next year it is taken out. So you should be very careful. You should be very careful. I think 3 parameters you can keep for finding the good journal. Number 1, number of volumes. How many years under it is publication? At least 3 years, 4 years publication. Not this year, last year. Number of years of publication, impact factor, and the Scopus. These 3 parameters you keep it in mind. Then you go with a paper publication. Do not be in a hurry and put your paper in some online journals.
Okay. I think you will get the information, sir. Sir, another question from my side, sir. I have my personal question to you. So, while starting the research, for an research, setting the identifying the problem is most important, sir. So, how can we identify the problem, sir? So, if we find out the best problem means we can able to do. In my opinion, we can able to do research. So how can we find out the problem? On what basis we want to find out the problem?
Okay, I ask you a very simple question, Vinod.
Sure.
Are you married now?
Yes, sir.
How did you identify your fiance?
So
Okay. Don't have to answer this question. Same thing goes with area of interest.
okay, sir.
You are getting married to your PhD now, second marriage.
Sure, sir.
It is almost like that. The reason is it is more of individual. You are in mechanical, so which
Yes,
area
sir.
you have taken? Mechanical.
So I'm looking in additive manufacturing, sir.
Additive manufacturing. Additive manufacturing, at least for a 20-25-year-old technology. And let's say you have so many technologies available, and you have any machines, let's say 3D printing available in your college?
No, sir. Actually, we don't have, sir. But we have conducted a lot of training programs to students and for faculty development programs.
Okay. One suggestion to you is, let us say, identify an institution which has got at least 2 or 3 machines. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Selective laser sintering, 3D printing. Identify. Let's say in Coimbatore, we have PhD College of Technology. They have huge machines. In other words, spread in that area, in that additive manufacturing lab. And 3D printing was such an expensive machine maybe 4 or 5 years before. Today you can buy a machine for 30,000 rupees, 40,000 rupees. Okay.
Yes,
sir.
Yes,
Sir, good morning, sir. Sir, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good
Sir,
morning.
hello, sir. Ravi, sir. I'm Ravi.
Yeah, Mr. Ravi, hold on for a minute. I'm answering Vinod. I'll come back to you.
Yes, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Mr. Vinod,
sir.
have you undergone any training program or have you visited any of the additive manufacturing setup anywhere in Chennai?
Actually, I started to read the literature, sir, but not yet I visited any.
Good, very good. You stay in the same field. It's a very good field.
Okay.
It's a very good field because now people are trying to do 3D printing of everything.
Yes, sir.
3D printing of everything. You stay with the field. It's a good field, but you become an expert. You teach subject related to this topic only. Whatever is there in your college, teach the subject, identify the journal. In fact, one of my PhD candidate, has done under this topic only.
Okay, sir.
I can give you guidance on that aspect. No problem.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
now I think Praveen Kumar, you wanted to ask.
So if any participants want to ask the question, please unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. Myself, I'm in the queue, sir. Basically, I have one doubt, sir. What is the necessity of a good teacher in future? Because everything is available in Google. In fact, a valuable lecture is available in online. This is the instant, another example. So, what is the necessity of a teacher in future? Is the teaching profession will be there in future, or classroom teaching will be available in future? That is one basic doubt, sir, because I am teaching my subject for the first of 30 years. I am in fact frustrated, sir.
Mr. Praveen Kumar, I appreciate your question. All experienced people, I don't say old people, all experienced people like me and you get this doubt. Today, students have got all the information in Google. Okay, they have video lectures, they have videos, animations, PowerPoint, Word, every damn thing is available in Google. but I already defined what is research. Research is research. Keep searching. Okay. And that is applicable to teachers also. You also do the same thing in Google. And let us say you are teaching a particular subject, theory of machines, machine design. I don't know if we are in mechanical or any other, let's say network or VLSI. You also go with the Google, find out what is available, and what is available, do not teach in the class. You download. That is what I am doing for the last 10 years. I download all the material in Google related to my subject, take it in a pen drive. First day in the class, I give it to the student. Students, do not waste your time on internet. Maybe your data will be lost. Don't do that. I have 10 GB of data. 10 GB all downloaded from Google. Take it. How is this idea, Praveen Kumar?
I'm Ravi sir, very nice sir, very nice sir. Thank you sir.
First day when you go to the class, give the pen drive.
Okay sir, because our limitation is we have to depend upon the syllabus which has been allotted to our side. We have to always incline towards our syllabus, so we cannot deviate much more from our syllabus. That is one of the limitation. We are result oriented people. That is the things. Okay sir, anyhow.
Another idea is maybe same subject you are teaching for many years.
Yes sir.
But every year, every day you should be different.
Yes.
You do a research on the topic you are going to teach today. For example, this presentation I am doing now.
Yes.
This presentation I am doing now. I am doing for the last 10 years.
Okay, sir. Okay.
But still, intentionally, I changed the title. In fact, HOD Mechanical Dr. Kamal Babu told me, "Sir, research methodology is a good topic." I said that is known for everyone. Let us change the title. Maybe it will send some feeling to the teachers and students. So every day you be innovative. You go with some new idea to the class. The students should think, oh, when Mr. Praveen Kumar comes, he will say something new. He is always something new. So every day you should think and then do research on your topic, think different. Otherwise, you cannot win the students. It is true, we are lost. It is something like swimming in an ocean. You have to swim in the ocean and you have to survive. Next one, if there is anybody.
Excuse me, sir. If anybody want to ask the question, please unmute yourself and ask.
Prakash, sir.
Yeah, Prakash.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, actually, in 2 or 3 training programs, I think most of the trainers said the faculties will become as facilitators in the next decades.
You are right.
Yes, sir. That's what I want to share.
Yeah, you are right. We will become a there is a saying, life goes on. You have to keep changing. You have to keep changing, and you should become a facilitator. But take it from me, teachers cannot be replaced by robots. A school tried to replace teachers with robots. Definitely not possible. Teacher is a teacher because he is a human being. No supercomputer is equivalent to teacher now.
Thank you, sir. So if anybody want to ask the question, please unmute yourself because
Excuse me.
we have time constraint.
Excuse me, sir.
Tell me, sir.
Sir, I had a doubt regarding the indexing journals because there are so many things, sir. There are even Scopus Index Journal, Thomas Recruiter, and then a Thomson Recruiter, Web of Science, Google Scholar, Archid, and even Researcher ID is also there. Which one is mostly the best one, and how the journals choosing this kind of Scopus indexing and Web of Science? How we have to choose, and which one is the best among those things?
Okay, very, very good question. I appreciate this question. Actually, the best way is, I don't know, your college, have you applied for NIRF ranking? NIRF ranking.
NIRF ranking, yes sir.
NIRF ranking. In NIRF ranking, for research, there is an explanation. What kind of paper they they will take for NIRF ranking, NIRF ranking. If you read that, they give only two options. One is Scopus, the other one is Web of Science. That's all. So if you have paper in these two, it will be counted. And definitely Scopus is there with any committee. NAC committee, NBA committee, autonomous committee, NIRF ranking, anyone, Scopus is there. So best will be Scopus. Next one will be Web of Science. And there is an overlap. Now, see, not everybody is different. There are some overlap.
And also one more thing, sir. I belong to the electrical department. So only focusing on the conferences like the IEEE Explorer conferences. In IEEE, it's a conference, but they are giving Scopus index. How come it's the conference became a Scopus index journal, sir? Whether it's good or else we can publish it in IEEE conferences, and whether it's good or we go with some other journals.
Are you doing PhD now?
Yes, sir. I'm currently doing PhD now.
Okay. My suggestion is it's always a good idea to participate in conferences. The reason is you will gain a lot of experience. Let us say you go and present in front of an audience. It will be an experience for you. And normally you get experts there apart from your guide. Normally your guide is the only expert. Maybe your DC members are experts. But you can look for other experts, and best way is the conference. When you go to conference, when you expose your topic to them very carefully, you will get a feedback from them. And even you can redefine your own work based on conference. But you should go with good conferences, number one. Second one, IEEE conference is definitely a good conference. And if that is there in Scopus, it is well and good, because IEEE has got so much respect in the research world. So there is no, actually comparing with other conferences, IEEE is the most respected conference. Nothing wrong. You can go with it. If it is there, it is there. And as I said before, list of publication, do not stop with minimum. I should, as an examiner, I should get impressed. When I go to your list of publication page, I should see at least one page. And you want to fill one page with only journal, it is very difficult. And maybe 2-3 conferences, there nothing wrong, because it's an experience for you. You have exposed your topic to somebody.
One more question, sir. IEEE and Springers, both are having nowadays more conferences they are conducting. Which one is the best, sir? Springer or IEEE?
Well, I think Springer also highly respected journal group. Springer also has got journals, beautiful journals they have Springer. So maybe I think you should attend both and then gain training in the thing. If it is not very expensive. Today, I think IEEE conferences you can attend for 3,000, 4,000 rupees, not a big money. So you can get an experience, and normally they do it in IEEE Explore, that is the publication database for your college or for the conference. And you get a respect. IEEE and Springer both are respected so much in the research world.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thanks, sir. We are, sir. Shall we conclude it, sir? Hello,
yeah,
sir?
no problem. It's up to you, Vinod.
Okay, sir. Due to time constraint, we are ending this question and answer session. I request our HOD, Dr. Kamal Babu, sir, to present vote of thanks. I request our HOD, Dr. Kamal Babu, sir, to provide vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to all. We got a wonderful session. Research is everyone's responsibility. It's a good topic. We discuss a lot in research. Sir, Dr. G. Karupasamy, sir, delivered a lot of contents related to the research. I really proud about him. On behalf of our Mechanical Engineering Department, TGS Engineering College, I am glad to thank Dr. G. Karupasamy, sir, Dean Sri Eastwar College of Engineering College, Coimbatore, for his valuable knowledge sharing through this online webinar session. Also, I thank all the participants for your valuable presence. I hope this online webinar session was useful and knowledge bounded I thank our principal, director, and our beloved chairman, Kalvineri Kavala TJ Govindarajan sir, for giving us for consistent and continuous support to conduct the program. Thank you all of you. Have a nice day.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Kandababu, Kamal Babu, and Prakash, and Vinod, and Principal Dr. Palani sir, and the college management, TJS Engineering College, for giving me an opportunity to talk to such a wide audience. I really enjoyed this last 1.5 hours. Thank you very much. Hope to see you physically somewhere. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. At the chat section, we can able to see that everyone is appreciating this webinar, and what are your content provided is very much useful. Them you can able to see in the chat itself, sir. So a lot of people appreciating your content delivered by you, and a lot of people surely get good knowledge about the research during this session, sir. Once again, I'm my bottom of the heart. Thank you for accepting our invitation and for this presentation, sir. At the same time, I want to thank all the faculties and faculties of my department and other department who has helped me to conduct this webinar smooth and successful manner. At the same time, I want to thank our chairman sir and the director sir and our principal sir, who is always encouraging us to do this kind of webinars and research related work. So once again, I'm thanking you and thanking you the audience who are participated in this event and make this event as so much success. Thank you. The feedback link is posted in the chat box. You may use it. Thank you, sir. Thank you for presentation, sir.
Feedback link 1 second, sir.
Sure, sir. We will post in the chat box. You can use it, sir.
Okay.
Thank you,
sir. Thanks, sir. Sir, you will.
Thank you very much. I will close it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I have one question, sir.
Oh, no problem. Go ahead. No problem.
Sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
Continue, sir. Sir, ready to answer your question.
Sir, what is the major role in the power system engineering for doing PhD, sir?
You are in EEE power system engineering.
I am BE electrical 3rd year, sir.
Okay, BE electrical 3rd year. You want to go with the research? Hello.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I explained, and if you want to go with PhD, let's say with our Anna University, you should do ME MTech. Power system is an ME program in EEE, and you should do that program. And after completing that program, you should join a college as an assistant professor. Then only Anna University will take you for PhD program. After completing ME, join a college. Then you can, let's say after 1 or 2 years of experience, when you gain confidence, you can go with PhD in power systems. It is always possible. One idea. Another idea, supposing you study BE very well, your CGPA is 8, and write your GATE examination, GATE. When you come to final year, you are in 2nd year, 3rd year, final year. Write your GATE examination, go with direct PhD. BE, direct PhD. After BE, you can go with PhD. No need for ME. And you will get a stipend of 18,000 rupees in Chennai or in any other IIT. And you can earn money, and then you can do your PhD also. I think best you should try for direct PhD. Okay?
And thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello?
Oh, yeah,
sir, your email ID, sir.
Which one?
Your email ID, sir.
Okay, you can take it from Mr. Vinod. It is with him.
I will post in the chat box, sir. Now I post in the chat box.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Tell me, sir.
Sir, I am Manigandan.
Yeah, Manigandan.
Yeah, sir, I have one doubt. What is the major difference between Scopus, Web of Science, and SCI Journal, sir? How it would be classified?
Okay. You are a faculty or you are a student?
Yeah, I have the faculty.
Okay. Actually, Scopus is from Elsevier. Actually, in all foreign countries, research paper, journal paper publication, it's only with private bodies. Okay. Elsevier, they came out with this idea. It's something like a NAC accreditation or NB accreditation. For a journal, they came with the idea of accreditation, and they have set up conditions for a journal to qualify under Scopus. So that is one agency, Scopus. That is one private organization in US, and that is one agency. Same way, Web of Science is a private in another agency. In another agency is SCI. That's all. They have a different set of conditions. It is not same. You can visit the Scopus website, and let's say your college is having a journal and you want to qualify for Scopus, they have put a condition. For example, editorial board, you should have at least foreign editors and at least 3 years of publication, at least 36 issues. Like this, they have condition. So condition for Scopus, for a journal to become Scopus accredited is different. Web of Science is different. And like this, it goes on. But since somebody has done an accreditation, the journal gets a respect. For example, we have our own journal in our college. If it comes under Scopus, it's a big advantage for us. We will tell you, yes, we have a Scopus index journal with us. So, but conditions are not same. There is a slight difference. But I think journals under indexing has got respect. Instead of simply online journal, if you say Web of Science or in Scopus or in SCI or in any other body, it has got a respect because somebody has done an accreditation. Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Vinod. See you then.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Vinod, sir, SAR's mail ID, sir.
Sure, sir. Wait a minute, sir. I will post now, sir. Yes, sir. My system.
Sir? Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So another one, I like to say something about the journals.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Tell me, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, you
publications.
Can tell, sir,
I mean, Elsevier, Springer, and a lot of publications are there. I mean, there's one group of one company. There's Elsevier is one company, and Springer is one company. Likewise, a lot of companies are there. And ASTM as an American Society. That's the one publisher. That's a company. It consists of lot of journals in their company. They are publishing by their title. So if you are like to put a paper in a quality journal, you have to search the Thomson's Reuters. That's one agency is appraising all the journals quality. So that Thomson Reuters journals are called as Science Citation Indexed journals. Science Citation Indexed journals. Most of the NIT and IIT all over the Indian main research institutions are referring only that SCI journals. How many journals you have in SCI, Science Citation Indexed? In top level IIT, all the research, CSIR institutions are asking that particular only, and also they are appreciating that Scopus indexed. You know that the Scopus indexed journals only praised by the Thomson Reuters. There's a separate agency is appraising all the other publications journals. So you can directly go to the Thomson Reuters PDF list. You can find Elsevier journal, Springer journals, and the ASTM journals. Lot of American Society of Mechanical Engineering, ASME, the journals. Lot of journals are there in that Thomson Reuters and that agency. So that is best. If you are going to publish a good journal, in a valuable content in a good journal, that SCI journal is so good comparing with the other journals. Even though that the Web of Science and Scopus Indexed journals are so good, and also valuable one also. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I request all the participants to kindly fill the feedback form. You will get the certificates. So I requested some of the one of the participant asked the guest mail ID. I posted in the chat box itself. Chat box. So kindly make use of it.
Thank you, sir, for arranging a wonderful session.
Thank you, Lord sir. Thank you, Lord sir. Thanks for your participation, sir.
Thank you, Vinod Kumar, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's a very good session, actually.